Go ahead.
Welcome to the DG Podcast. This is episode 170, part B, where we are going to talk about the video games that are coming out this week, plus anything else that crosses our mind or that we have done this week.
We're going to attempt to.
Yeah, we're going to attempt it. Anyway, so I mentioned last time at the end of the podcast...
Maybe I'll add an intro to this one really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're distraught over the election between a douchebag and a turned sandwich, and you have nowhere to turn, and you just don't want to watch the debate, please come here.
Seriously.
This is where you come to run from the horror that is the American election.
You know,
one might be worse than the other, but let's not debate that here. What we're here to do is basically relax and talk about video games and pretend that the world isn't falling apart.
You know, we are incredibly depressing. I have to say that. But we are not as depressing.
Politics, I am super depressing.
Well, we're just not as depressing as that train wreck that you're going to be seeing and that they call the debate. Anyway, so I mentioned at the end of the last podcast that I had finished Saints Row 4 and that I really enjoyed it. And there's
it's
just
goofy fun, isn't it? Your
it's
sandbox toy where you can go around and punch aliens and fly and run really fast. Like 4, they took it because you've played now 3.
I played 2, 3, and 4 now.
Okay, so you've seen the graduation of like we're trying to be Grand Theft Auto to just screw it.
Right.
Just it doesn't matter. Like 2 is still trying.
Right.
3 is going overboard, and 4 is like, you know what? Forget trying to beat the winner in this game. Let's just go off the reservation. And they did it so fun. It's basically like having a lot of ridiculous toys and being like, okay, just blow things up.
Exactly.
Like, oh, score. This is exactly what I wanted.
You know, it's kind of like Rhett was saying, with Saints Row 2, it's still kind of a Grand Theft Auto clone. You sit there and you try to take over the territory that used to be yours. You wake up in the prison hospital from a coma after being in the coma for 2 years, and then you go ahead and you get back with your gang, and then you basically destroy the other 3 gangs running the town, and you become the only gang running that town. In Saints Row the Third, you move to another city and they ramp up the ridiculousness. They bring in people that are basically mutants. They've been cloned off of this one dude so that they have superhuman strength and whatnot, and you have luchadors and hackers and all this stuff, and you go through and you just basically destroy each of those 3 gangs and take over the new place, and that ramps up your popularity so much so that by the time Saints Row 4 comes around, you've been elected president of the United States.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts out. You're president of the United States, and your gang is basically running things from the White House, and then aliens show up. Abduct everyone, and then end up destroying the planet. So the rest of the time you're trying to get revenge on this alien overlord for having destroyed your planet. So they also have how the Saints saved Christmas, and evidently this same maniac alien overlord had abducted Santa and was keeping him in suspended animation as well. And so you free him, and it's just a lot of silly fun. I mean, like Rhett was saying, you get superpowers, you get the ability to use telekinesis, to fire energy blasts, to create ground effect stomps that destroy things. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. The other one was like an aura thing where if you power it up and then you run past somebody, it lights them on fire. Or when you're firing your gun, your bullets become incendiary. But an incredible amount of fun. Just really, really good game to Really good series. I mean, I've never actually played Grand Theft Auto. I picked up Saints Row 2 because it was in a package with 3 and 4 and all the DLC. And I'd heard so much about 3 and 4 that I wanted to play them, and so I picked up the 2 and the follow-up to 4, which is Get Out of Hell. So I'm playing that one right now.
The DLC.
No, I'm playing Get Out of Hell.
Isn't that the DLC?
No, it's a standalone.
Well, right, but it was intended as an expansion. You buy it separately.
Right. You don't have to have the...
Well, no, I get it, but it's still technically
Right.
DLC because you buy it separately, Jason.
Well, no, what I mean is like a lot of times the DLC is you have to have the original game.
Right, it's just
in order,
a standalone
but this is
DLC.
standalone, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You get like demons and angels in that one, if I recall.
yeah. The president, and now like Emperor for Life is what they're calling the player character from the first, from all of the Saints Row games. He gets kidnapped by the devil, and so your best friend Johnny Gat and Kinsey Kensington, who was this genius hacker that you rescued in Saints Row the Third, they go to hell to rescue you from the devil. So you play as Johnny Gat and Kinsey Kensington. You don't actually play as your character in Get Out of Hell, but it has a lot of the same kind of feel and things to it that you have from Saints Row 4, where you have superpowers and things. They're slightly different, so they're not like you actually can fly because you have wings when you get this specific power up that gives you wings, and so you can actually fly. Whereas with Saints Row 4, it was just a glide, and you eventually came back down to the ground. And then, like I said, it's, you still have the stomp, you still have the blasts, you still have some things like that, but they've made them different, and they've made the environment different enough that it still is a lot of fun. But the Saints Row franchise has been well worth my time. I really, really enjoyed it from 2 all the way up. Like I said, I never did play. I never played Grand Theft Auto. It's not my kind of game. But when I picked up the Saints Row 2 through Get Out of Hell, I went back and played 2 because it was part of the series and everything, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really good story. There were some things that were difficult about it, like the challenges and stuff, but I don't know. They still make it a pretty enjoyable game.
Game should be fun.
Yeah.
And if it was fun, then you freaking got your money out of it.
Oh yeah, this franchise has been well worth my time and money. And the thing is that
sometimes
I got it as part of a package.
Yeah.
So it was really cheap.
Like a humble bundle. Sometimes we play games because we feel like we should, and we play them too long because it taxes us. And then we finally move on to something else to play, and then you go, oh, I forgot about games being fun, and you know what I mean? You finally hit something where you're like, oh yeah, this is just stupid fun, and I really enjoy it, and that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. So I finished